You get another call back, and at that point, the producers are in the room. That's the money people, and.
Are you working with other actors at this point yet?
No, you're still working with the reader.
Okay.
A reader, someone is hired by the casting director to just sit there and read with everyone. So they're not really giving you much in terms of acting. They're just read the lines, and you have to go with it. And so, you know, the one where all the producers, there's this room, you walk in, and there's this long table with a lot of people that you don't know who they are. And you do the same, you know, audition. Maybe they add another song. I think my other song was Too Beautiful for Words. And add another scene, and that's it. And after that particular time, I did not get the offer. And I went on about my life. They were going to Atlanta to do a regional theater production in Atlanta at the Alliance Theater. And then found out it was coming to Broadway. Found out they were doing a workshop. Right. And they called me again, we want to see you again, did the whole 3 auditions, callbacks again. Got the offer that time but turned it down. At that particular time it was just a workshop, and I don't know, I was crazy. I turned it down, okay?
She's working all the time.
I had something else, I had something else going on. And then it got picked up to go to Broadway, and they called again. And it was a blessing. That was my blessing. That, you know, it was a great thing that I was able to turn it down and keep my word and do what I had planned to do, and still it came back to me. And so it came back to me where I was the understudy. So I was the understudy at first on Broadway, and then took over the role later on. But it was just something that sometimes when things are for you, they're just for you. Right. And no matter how many times I went in, weirdly enough, I knew I would do the show. I didn't know when or how, and I just knew that it would happen. Yeah, and I think I said to someone so be careful what you say, because when they called and offered me the understudy, I was like, understudy, you know, all of that. But it was the best thing that could have ever happened too. But I had said to a friend of mine who was playing Mr. at the time, Kingsley, I said to him, I'm going to be in that production. I don't care if I have to carry the water. So when they called about the understudy, I said, well, you said you would carry the water. But it all worked out, and all of it was the best thing and the best way that it could have happened, and I got to work with her again. And then this one came to Broadway, and that was...
Because I didn't think we worked with her in Chicago when she was going into the production in Broadway. I didn't think we would really be working with her on the road, you know. But look at
Can you tell us about how you became part of the cast?
They tricked me. Well, I always wanted to see the show when I was in New York performing. And I would ride by the theater, and I was I'm going to get to see that show one day. And I went to New York, and the young lady who was managing me at the time, she said, well, they gave you tickets, you want to go? I said, yeah. So we went, and I was blown away. I was amazed at everything. I was looking at the stage moved. And I said, how do they do this every night? They invited me out to eat. So I'm thinking to myself, they must really like me. I went out to eat, free tickets, okay? Wow. And when I got to the restaurant, we talked, and Scott was there, and he holds up this paper, and my name was on the marquee on the front of The Color Purple. And I said, that is so cute, can I have it? And he said, yes, if you be my seat. And at the time, I really didn't understand, because Color Purple was my first Broadway show I had ever seen. And I really did that much acting. And so I told him to give me a month, and I went home and I prayed about it. I don't like to do anything unless I pray about it, because if I do it, I learn to do my best. And my mother came downstairs. Of course, my mother's an evangelist. She's a woman of God. And she came and she says, it's yours. You might as well call him and tell him yes. And I called him. I said, well, Scott, guess I'm your receiver. Here I am.
Wow. Now, what kind of preparation?
Why?
No, it's a little different for you since they're working as an ensemble. What kind of preparation do you get for the show? How many weeks? Is it by yourself? How does that
I
work?
get 2 weeks
Okay.
by myself. Gary's with me, and then there's somebody reading the lines for me, which is difficult. I'm not on the stage, so they have to put tape down and try to tell me what stage left and stage right. So it was difficult, it was hard, it was a challenge, but like Miss Felicia said, it took a lot of discipline.
And backstage, she's just like me. I just don't know.
All right,
And then she would say to me, "You get nervous too?" I'm like, "I'm saying the same thing about you."
What do you guys find most challenging or surprising about the show? Since you guys do it 8 times a week, twice on either Wednesday or Thursday and Saturday or Sunday, what's the most challenging part or the thing that surprises you about the show?
The thing that surprises me is the people. You never know, sometimes when this show has a tendency to have a certain pattern. They laugh in certain places, they get quiet in certain places, but this show, sometimes people are so quiet, depending on what kind of audience you have. And you're thinking to yourself that you're not giving them what they need, and then at the end they all jump to their feet and like, where were y'all? But the audience is always an element of surprise to the audience for me, because, I don't look in the house at people. I never see faces. I look at exit signs. So when, at the end of the night, when it's time to take the bow, that's when I can get a chance to see, people's faces. But the audience's responses always are surprising to me.
Does it change from city to city? Are you able to?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. When we go to Atlanta, I won't even have to say my lines. I just stand there
Okay.
and mouth my
Yeah.
some place like Atlanta. It's like, but we've gone to places where I didn't expect it to be such a, Boston was there. So you never can tell. That's why you got to give your, people will come in and they'll be like, well, the audience is not even out there, it's a portrait. It's not. But then at the end, because these are listeners, and then sometimes you got people that are scared to respond, because they think they're offending the actors or something. But this ain't that kind of show. The more response you get in this show, the more we kind of go. It's like that's like when I'm walking backstage, actually I don't start for half an hour, you start after me. So, but I can listen to the monitor and tell you what kind of house it's going to be, And if it's the second show and y'all ain't saying nothing, I'm like, people,
We need you.
I need a nap. Come on.
Well, I kind of find D.C. a strange city because it's everybody from somewhere else. So you'll have Virginia, Maryland, D.C. You have people that are just visiting here. You have a very southern crowd at times, and then you'll have not so southern crowd at times. And the night that I saw it, it was church. It was call and response.
Yeah, DC audience has been great. DC audience has been great.
One thing about black people, they can't really hold their peace. And I feel sorry for white people sometimes because they going like. But one thing about this show is at the end of the night, white people holler with them. They figure out either you gonna get on board with these black people or you gonna be out.
That's what I love about a show like this, and I want to get both of y'all's responses and not forget that a lot of times you see, oh, I gotta stand up because it's a standing ovation.